onto the Freya. It's possible that Mythical-Marauder, yeah, he reads it. He's saying, this is another good potential Freya map. We want to shut down the Freya. Let's play it one more time. Because you know what else we're playing? It's the Battle straight away.
Okay. Well, Chronic, okay. Chronic and Lep just instantly die. All right, reset. And this has been the big question as well for Geeky. When are they pulling out this backline? And this seems like the perfect stage for it in City Center.
Well, it can work pretty well with the Winston and the Hazard especially. So it's interesting that Cover's not on the Hazard. You would have expected that to come through. And the Malga from Nightmare now. So they see the Winston. Rocket wanted to play the Reaper into either the Winston or maybe the Malga. Something you can just shoot the shotguns into. But the PK Malga is the really interesting choice.
Ultraviolet stuck with one take aim, but doesn't take any additional supplemental shots there from Chronic. Manual hack onto Chronic, though, and Lethal and Mymone end up taking it down. One of the hard carries of Nightmare already. And this is the problem with this backline, Avril. It's nigh and unkillable sometimes. Actually get shield danced, get owned. Oh, man.
We think on this map, it should be much better, but the problem is, I think Nightmare's comp isn't built to take down the Bat Life Weaver. It's built to pressure out Cuffer on the Winston. So many heroes specifically to be able to do that. Cuffer's going to struggle on the Winston, just given the entire frontline setup. However, there's no Tracer here. That's part of the reason why the Tracer ban actually works quite well for GK, is if you are going to play the Beaver comp, Tracer and just flanking in general can get behind the Beaver comp and put the pressure on the backline, but when you can't access the backline at all, then GK can win by default.
Wait, we're calling it the Beaver comp now because of the tree? Like that.
Bat Weaver.
Bat Weaver?
Yeah, I guess the tree works too, maybe.
Oh, wait, that does it. A double meaning? Oh, the tree! Well, it's dead. Almost instantly on that rush. Cover ends up getting caught out there, and like you said, is going to struggle in this matchup. A high ground window here for Ultraviolet, although saying that, sorry, it was on the low ground. It was just Ultraviolet sailed to the high ground to try and get out of there. Still, though, the Geeky are controlling the point, and now Cuffer is back close to this Primal Rage. They've lost their Sombra, so no EMP available for this fight, but it might not matter. This unkillable backline just refuses to die.
And it's very hard for Cuffer to die as well, because if the Grip is there available, then Cuffer's going to pop off. He's just going to climb all into the backline, and caged up is a bit of a problem, but he's kind of safe at the moment. Oh, maybe not.
He still ends up killing Lucamino, though. All right, well, there's going to be the touch, at least for Nightmare. But the focus fire on Painkiller is going to be good, and EMP as well. Just rock the systems of Rocket and Painkiller. Mymo, now last player alive, has got that seed to play around with if he really wants, and he's just going to try and stall up for some additional time. But yeah, can't stay around for long. Too many players for Nightmare on the point.
The big thing here as well, this might be his first sound barrier. He hasn't had the beat just yet. Would have been nice to play through. Certainly won't have it in time to do anything about the EMP, which already came in the previous fight. 99 setup for GK. And again, a very frontline focused, front to back type of composition for Nightmare, which should put the pressure on the Cuffer. But if Admiral's on point, you just have enough healing, you have enough bailout solutions. Okay, speaking of bailout solutions, there's one.
Easy. So the government bailout of the banks is just so easy, but it's so painful for the other side of things. Rocket ends up getting taken down by Mymo. Now Chronic trying to be the difference maker in this fight, but Lep ends up dying. That's Nightmare losing 2 players already.
This should be
and
found.
Once again, GK's backline refusing to die in the high ground, just taking out Chronic. Window on the point, and that'll be all she wrote there for City Center. GK, they're tying Oasis up.
Admiral even adding the damage in there with the Thorn Explosion perk, and really for Nightmare, I think they were a little bit too focused on saying, okay, we just want to kill this Winston, but they never really got him. Outside of the cage, being dropped in, Cuffer's just living, but we are going to Ruins, or not Ruins rather, onto University. I was thinking about Ilios. But here on Oasis, this is where the Freya is just going to have maybe limited utility given the lack of ability to take height. There's still reasonably high like ceilings on this map, so maybe Chronic will lock it in again, but you are just going to see more Sombra. My issue is, into the Beaver comp, I think you need more flanking. I think you might want to look back towards the Genji. Tracer would have been nice. You may even start to consider your own Sombra, which despite it not destroying the tree or anything, that was patched out a long time ago. Just being able to access the backline is so important, but you're not going to see the life move back here, not on this round.
Hacking that mini too on this little room here on the side is going to be pretty crazy for both Lethal and Ultraviolet. hard for Nightmare to wrap into that small corridor as well. That is a lot of extra supplemental healing. Of course, the health packs regenerate a lot quicker when they are hacked, so that healing output is a little while. Can't be underestimated. Kuffer ends up going Nemesis form there in the front line, and classic Mauga. Just the Mauga versus... Sorry, not the Mauga. The Ram versus the Orisa front lines. They're just so silly. It's just trading cooldowns, waiting for the DPS to do something, or the DPS in this case being Ultraviolet.
Tell you what, it's not as silly as Ram versus Ram mirrors, where they're just both holding hands.
Yeah, just punching each other. Yeah, it's so
well, not even punching each other. They're just both looking at each other, just blocking. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
That's my favorite.
Nice late kill there on Painkiller,
which is what you expect. Lethal. This is why he chooses the cast, right? He understands that PK's best hero is going to be the Orisa. It's going to be a lot of Nightmare Orisa today, which means Lethal can come through, find massive value on the Cassidy. Most fights. Speaking of value, UV first up on the window. Big lead onto Luke Mina.
So hard to step up here already. Look at how much damage Ultraviolet has done. He's already got the window. They're using the High Noon. Not letting go of that High Noon too early, though. Chronic still had the Deflect in his back pocket.
Yeah, Rocket was still in line of sight, deflecting away. PK spinning. Window.
But wait, Lucamino just got through the window. Cuffer landed that directly on his head. That Vortex. Nice stuff there from Cuffer, who says tanks can't aim. All right, Nightmare, they're struggling, man. Like, what's the game plan? Because Mymone has EMP.
It has to be tempo beat here, but again, you have to consider EMP. So how has Nightmare rid this one? Do they believe that Mymone has EMP yet? Because if Mymone has EMP, Lep might want to hold this, but we're also looking for entry.
Oh, he's dead.
There it is, we have entry.
All right, Chronic. There's a railgun shot through the eyes. Now, Leb uses that sound barrier very close to Ajaxing there. Ends up running away, of course, from the Ramarcha, using that Annihilation. And here's Chronic, finally online with this overclock. Takes down Avril. Should be a fairly easy flip there for Nightmare, but still 81%. And look at the ultimates for Geeky. They've still got EMP, and they got beaten 5.
Yeah, the EMP not being in that last fight, that was super important. The fact that Chronic got Mymone allows Lep to then use the sound barrier safely to counter out Cuffer. I say safely, again, he used it on low HP, but needed to come through, needed to land. And of course, for Nightmare, we asked the question, what is their entry game plan here? Chronic Go Kill is the card that they can still play.
Virus on to Painkiller. Terror Surge still available. The extra lifeline. Although Painkiller ends up getting hacked, an EMP straight on to Rocket. Although it's not really going to do too much, but it puts Painkiller in an awkward spot. Manually hacked, then EMP, I believe, did connect as well. So GK using a whole bunch of their ults in that fight. 2 critical ones, that beat and that EMP, but they're getting the flip like this, and a team kill puts Nightmare on final fight.
It's an insane timing as well, because you see that Rocket wanted to go for the blade, setting up with Painkiller on his Terror Surge, but as soon as he gets hacked, and he's low HP after the EMP, his team's already starting to fall apart, so just too difficult. Now it's coming down to Luke Meter, Rush and Blade.
Blade, GV's already dead. Lethal alone there, ends up missing the nade. As Rocket just swinging at air right now, but still managed to land a couple of slashes on to Cuffer. Mymone takes out Lep, so only one support available for Nightmare, but GK no. Without Ultraviolet, they cannot stay in this fight too long. UV will come back in a couple of moments, and they might be able to get a free flip here, but Nightmare, they're at 54%. They just need to hold on. Mymone down, Lep gets revenge, as GK decide maybe better at this fight and go for one more.
Yeah, well, they have ultimates coming back in Annihilation. Look at the timing here as well. Cuffer's got Annihilation, and Lep does not have anything to counter. It's going to come down to Chronic trying to either find an early first pick or finding this OC. You always can count on Chronic to do something. However, what else can Nightmare help him with? What else can Nightmare bring to the table?
Uh-oh. What? Wait. What? Excuse me? Excuse me? Lethal? Yeah, okay. He just kills the backline. Oh, yeah. Sharpshooter. My word. How does that happen? Just triple taps the backline and that's it. That's map. Geeky off the back of Lethal's Cassidy, no less. Ends up taking the first map.
Nightmare just